Avengers Endgame just blew past 2 billion in 11 days. The link for this video will be in the description. So, according to Variety magazines, Avengers Endgame crushes 2 billion milestone in a record time. So, the Avengers Endgame has officially surpassed the 2 billion mark in its second week in theaters, obliterating the record for the fastest film to reach that milestone. Avengers Endgame is now the second highest grossing movie of all time, with 2.1 billion globally, passing Titanic in just 11 days. It took Avatar, the previous record holder for quickest film, to 2 billion, 47 days to reach that benchmark. Avengers Endgame is one of only 5 films to ever gross 2 billion in ticket sales, joining the company of Avatar, which is 2.7 billion, Titanic 2.1 billion, Star Wars The Force Awakens 2.6 billion, 2.0 billion, and Avengers Infinity War with 2 billion. Now, the tentpole has earned 620 million at the domestic box office, becoming the 9th biggest title ever in North America. Overseas, Endgame has amassed a monster 1.5 billion, with 575 million of that bounty coming from China. The epic finale to the current phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe got off to a record-breaking start last weekend when it debuted with a stunning 1.2 billion worldwide, including 357 million in North America. Anthony and Joe Russo returned to direct Avengers Endgame, the 22nd installment in the MCU. It picks up directly following Avengers Infinity War, another box office behemoth that left Earth's mightiest heroes scrambling after Thanos eliminated half of life in the universe. The superhero blockbuster stars Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Chris Evans as Captain America, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. So, this is some good news for Marvel, but it's even better news for comic book heads or superhero movies, because at one time in Hollywood, once upon a time, let's say 10 years ago, superhero movies wasn't doing what they're doing now in the numbers. And I will be honest with you, superhero movies dominate the box office today. You can't bring shit out against a Marvel movie. It's like a 90% chance, especially anyone that's in that Marvel universe. You know, FYI, a Thor movie or Ant-Man movie or Captain America movie, your shit would not debut #1. It's just, those are facts. They're so popular, the diehard fans go out and they spend money and go out and see these movies. James Cameron, the director for Avatar, you know, he said something last year about people are growing tired of superhero movies, and a lot of people took that as shade or jealousy, because, you know, it took Avatar, which was a great movie. See, I can't take anything away from Avatar. A movie like that to get, you know, break all types of records, and I think Avatar is the biggest selling movie of all time, Avatar. And right now, as we look at this again, Avatar is at 2.7 and the Titanic is at 2.1. Avengers Endgame will be the biggest selling movie of all time. Now, Avatar held that record for some time, because during that period of time, we never saw real life mixed with computer animated graphics like James Cameron put it on screen. We never saw anything like that. Never. And it was amazing, especially in IMAX, and it's still amazing on Blu-ray. Great movie. Can't take anything away from Avatar. And Marvel made 22 movies off of basically the Avengers initiative. And James Cameron can't even give us Avatar 2. But he does own two of the biggest movies of all time, that and Titanic. But man, you could at least brought the sequel out. Like, he's just been busy doing other stuff. Like, maybe, you know, I guess thinking about making them. I don't know what he's been doing, but the Avengers, you know, you got to give props to that movie, man. And you just got to give it to Marvel for a lot of their movies are directly from the comic. They use a lot of stuff from the comics and they put their little input. But that's why they're so successful. And the main reason is Stan Lee. The creative mind of Stan Lee. You can't duplicate that. That man was in his own world. R.I.P. Stan Lee. He was a comic genius. Comic book head genius. His mind and George Lucas' minds are something that would never be duplicated, because to get that world, like George Lucas has this Star Wars world with all these characters, only he could think of shit like that. And just like Stan Lee, when it comes to the Marvel universe, he's the only person that could think of shit like that, man. But what do you guys think of Avengers Endgame becoming the fastest film to gross $2 billion? Like this video, leave your comments, and subscribe later.